already learned about some simple shapes like triangles, rectangles, and circles. These shapes have no depth. They can also be called flat shapes. In real life, most of the objects we see are not flat. We call these objects solid shapes or three-dimensional shapes. Solid shapes have length, width, and height. On the other hand, flat shapes have only length and width, or just two dimensions. There are various types of solid shapes, and we are going to take a look at a few of them. The first of the solid shapes we're going to look at is called a cuboid. A cuboid has length, height, and width. You see this solid shape all the time in real life. Think of objects like a dice, a notebook, even a slice of bread, or a book. They are all in cuboid shape. So sometimes we'll see the words length, height, and width written, and sometimes on a shape like a cuboid that I have drawn here, you might see an L for length, a W for width, and an H for height. These are both cuboid shapes. Now, with a cuboid, if the length, height, and width are all exactly the same measurement, are all equal, then we call this type of cuboid a cube. A dice you use to play board games is a cube-shaped object. So a cube is a special type of cuboid. Here in this drawing, I can see that this is a cube because it shows me that I have the length, height, and width all equal. This drawing is labeled with all three of them being 3 centimeters long, telling me that this is a cube. I have an example of a cube here in three-dimensional form, and this would be similar where we have the same distance or the same length for the length and for the height and for the width of my cube. All three of these are the same length, making this cuboid a cube. I also have a cuboid that has a little bit different of lengths. So this one I've got a length right here, and my height looks about the same, but I have a little longer edge back here that makes my width a little bit longer, making this a cuboid because all three measurements of my sides are not the same. Now, if we look closely, we will see that our cuboid has 6 sides. There's a top and a bottom and 4 sideways sides. So if I count the sides of my cuboid, I have 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, so 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A top and a bottom making 2, and 4 sideways sides making a total of 6 sides. Each side in itself looks like a rectangle or a square if the two measurements are the same. So a cube or a cuboid is made using 6 sides. A cuboid, we would say, has 6 rectangular sides. A cube, we would say, has 6 square sides. The next 3 solid shapes that we are going to look at are the pyramid, the cone, and the cylinder. So here I have drawn a triangular pyramid and a rectangular pyramid. A pyramid is called a triangular pyramid if the base of the pyramid is a triangle shape. A pyramid is called a rectangular pyramid if the base of the pyramid is a rectangular shape. There are not too many examples of pyramids that you see in your regular daily life, but it is still an important solid shape to learn. So here I have a solid example of what we would call a triangular pyramid. So the base of my shape is a triangle. And if I take my shape and set it down with the base down, I can see that the three corners of my triangle all come up and meet at one point, making this a triangular pyramid. And then each of my sides is also a triangle. Here I have what I would call a rectangular pyramid. So the base of my figure here is a square, which is a type of rectangle, so it's rectangular. And if I take that and I set it down on its base, its rectangular base, I can see then that from the four corners of my rectangle, all the sides come up to meet at one point at the top, making this a rectangular pyramid. And all my sides are again triangles. With the rectangular base, I have four sides coming up to meet in one point for a rectangular pyramid. The next shape that we'll look at is a cone. So a cone, you're probably a little more familiar with the shape of a cone. You can think of a clown's hat or the cone of your ice cream cone, a traffic cone. All cones have a circular base. So it has a circle as the base on the bottom and comes up again to meet at one point. So I have a little example here of a cone, a very familiar shape to you, I'm sure. So the bottom of it is a circle, and that's what we call our base. And so to take a look at a cone, we usually set our figures on their base. And so in this case, I'll set it on its circle, so you can see the base of this cone is a circle. And then all the little points of the circle come up to meet at one point, making this a cone shape. With our third shape here, we're going to look at it, we call it a cylinder. So for a cylinder, the base and the top, so here's our base and here's our top, the base and the top are always circular. Examples of a cylinder in real life would be a pipe or a soda can or canned food. And here I have a solid shape of a cylinder. So with a cylinder, you can see that instead of with the cone, they all came up, all the edges of the base circle came up to meet at one point. With a cylinder, that we have a base that's a circle and we have a top that's a circle. And so all the points of the bottom circle come straight up to meet the points of the top circle. So for the base and the top, I have a circular shape, and then the sides all come up to meet at the top circle for what we call the solid shape of a cylinder.